Pika pika.
What's up, what's up, what's up? It's been a long time. I was meant to do the final Japan wrap-up video. I need to record it. I've been pretty busy with some little projects and bits and bobs with work, so unfortunately, I know I've been lazy and I haven't done that yet. Yeah, you can give me some shit in the comments down below if you want. I deserve it. I'm making this video because fortunately this past week I was lucky enough to have the opportunity to go to Leicester to go meet some colleagues for lunch or dinner in the evening, and I've been meaning to go and pay a visit to the Super Game Shack. I'm not sure if I've done a video on there before, but I've been a few times, and I knew that they'd recently expanded. I saw it on social media. If you go and have a look on YouTube or Insta or whatnot, you'll see that they had the shop on the ground floor of this little palisade area, but they expanded with an arcade area up top, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I went down early this week. Unfortunately, I didn't realize that the arcade area was only open on the weekend, so sadly I was unable to go and explore all the cool arcades and things that they've got upstairs. But I did try and capture some footage from the outside. I think it's worth having a look at, and the shop's amazing, and they've got loads of good stock, and the staff are really cool. So yeah, check out the footage.
The last Metroid is in captivity. The galaxy is at peace.
So yeah, what did you guys think? Like I said, the shop is really cool. They've laid it out really well lit. Everything's priced, which, you know me, I'm a big fan of that, because I hate it when the retailers, they sit there and they scroll on eBay and they see, oh well, one sold for £80, so if you want it you can have it for £80, and it's like, you know, it's in my opinion, it's not a good way of doing business. It doesn't look very good from a customer perspective, so I appreciate them pricing everything up. It's a good way of doing it, and it smooths the whole experience out as well. You can just go in and grab what you want and leave. No comments, Nick. And yeah, hopefully you saw from the upstairs video of me being a bit of a creep and recording through the glass. You could see that they've done a pretty good job laying out all the arcades and the tables. They've obviously moved some of their retro toys upstairs, which looks really cool. I'll have to go and check it out when they've opening up on the weekend. And obviously, I don't know if you saw that right next to it, they're expanding further down the bottom. So, I mean, it looks like they're doing a great job preserving the old arcade machines and keeping that, you know, little experience going. I think it's a great idea, and yeah, I'm glad they're doing it. So I'll have to, me and Get Retro were planning to go on a weekend. He skanked a few weeks ago, if you're watching. So yeah, when maybe give it a few months, let them open up the upstairs, we'll go back and do a proper tour of with everything in full flow. You get to have a look if you haven't been there already. I did pick up one game. I had to pick up something. So I mean, I felt like spunking money on a game recently. There's nothing in particular I super duper want, he says. But yeah, I felt like, you know what, I'll treat myself to a game. I haven't bought anything good since Japan. And the one game which caught my eye, which I have actually been after for a while, for its notoriety, did I say that right? Notoriety, is Superman on the N64. So from the front, this is a Titus game. They usually do good stuff. The footage will be overlaid now. From what I recall from my N64 playing days back in the day, late 90s, is Superman was renowned for its fogginess, and I heard that the gameplay itself was terrible. I haven't personally played it yet. I need to fire it up and have a go. But yeah, it was meant to be one of the worst games on the N64, simply because obviously you're flying around as Superman, but you can only see a certain amount of distance in front of you. Like I said, I'll put the gameplay footage up, so hopefully it'll back up that assessment. So yeah, I remember it being like a really bad game and not many people buying in it. I think for that reason the price has gone quite steep. So when I saw this, it was advertised, and I inquired with him whether it was complete or not, which it was. There's the manual, but more importantly, it also came with this cool poster, which I appreciate this sort of thing. I mean, it's in great condition. It's obviously never been stuck up on the wall. It's got the same box art from there, and also from the cart itself. I will fire this up one of the days. But yeah, it was complete in box with all the bits. You can see it's in really good nick. There's no tears or anything. Maybe a few bit of fraying on the corners. I don't really care too much about that. On the back, it's got this writing on there in marker. Not going to bother trying to take it off. It is what it is. But yeah, I'm happy with that. They had it advertised for 90 quid, which a quick eBay search I thought was pretty good. I'll put the listings up so you can see whether or not what you make of it. I think £90 is pretty good from my memory. I thought it was like a 150 quid game, so £90 for me was good. Obviously, I tried to get that brown card discount, as Gabo would say, brown card discount. But yeah, they were like, have none of it. I go, bro, this is already pretty cheap, 90 quid. You can take it or leave it. I'm like, yeah, I'm having it. So yeah, 90 quid, nice little pickup. And then, funnily enough, the very next day when I came back, I fired up Facebook and Vintage Gamer in Hales Owen, I've said it before, it's my favourite shop. They had a massive pickup, a massive restock of classic games. Somebody had dropped in, sold, traded, whatever, I don't know. I don't know if anybody else saw the post on Facebook, I'll put it there. I saw there was a game there that I was after, that I've been after for a while, as a super rare game and also worth quite a bit. So I didn't mess around. I read some of the comments, I saw some other people were in it as well, so I thought, you know what, there's no point. I was free during the afternoon. I took care of the jobs. I just jumped in the car and went. So yeah, have a look at the footage now. It's pretty crazy, and yeah, we'll get back to it. What did you guys think? Absolutely nuts, right? To see all of those SNES games together at the same time from a single sale. It's basically as if somebody had picked up my own collection and took it in. Yeah, I mean, I've obviously, you guys will know, I've got quite a few of the heavy hitters that they had there, albeit the condition was actually better in my opinion for the ones that they had. So I mean, it was nuts, and yeah, I thought it was great to see. Obviously I didn't want the majority of the games. The only one that I'm in particular was Demon's Crest. I'm not sure if I mentioned that before. I'd like Demon's Crest. I've been aware of it for quite a while as a really rare one-off game that you don't see that often, and it's quite renowned for being a really good game, part of the series from Capcom. He showed up. He was a bad guy in Ghouls and Ghosts. I can't remember his name. And then there is a Game Boy game which I've got called Gargoyles, which he's in. And then obviously there's the SNES game where you play as him also and flying around and to defeat the baddies. Yeah, the footage will be showing. I'll put it up anyway. Actually, no, I won't. I haven't got the pickup. I didn't get it. So when I walked in, it was the first game that I went for. I beelined straight for it. I picked it up. I said, Nick. Actually, no. When I was driving there, I had a strategy. I thought, you know what? My price I really want to get this game for, I knew it was relatively low, was 400 quid. 400 quid. I mean, that's still a lot of money. I thought, you know, if I can get it for 400 quid, I'm taking it. And I took a few N64 games with me. I can maybe trade to get the price down a little bit. But I thought, you know what, 400 quid is where I want to be. And when I walked in, I picked it up. I said, Nick, how much are we doing Demon's Crest for? And off the bat, he said, yeah, well, the condition's not great. So on that one, we're doing it for 900. Obviously, you get that sinking feeling. It's like, fuck, 900 quid, 900 pounds. Literally over double what I was hoping, what I'd like to have paid for it. I say 400 is a bit of a stretch. I'll put some eBay listings up. You'll see that some chances are asking for over £1,000. They're never going to get that. So anyway, I carried on rummaging around. Nick popped out because he needed to take care of some business to do with his car, and I was sitting there chatting with Sean. And at £900, he's like, "Well, you can't offer 400, right?" I'm like, that's derogatory. You're just gonna get laughed out at that point. Though if Nick asked for 900, in my head I guessed, you know, maybe he paid about 4 or 5 for it. So then I thought, yeah, alright, let's try. So I'm talking to Sean, we're talking about all the different games, he's giving me prices and stuff like that. I picked up a bit of a stack. I put Run Saber in there. I put this fighting game in there. I put an N64. I put Legacy of Darkness, Castlevania Legacy of Darkness on the N64 in there also. I thought, you know what, if we can't do a deal for Demon's Crest, maybe I'll take one of these other ones. I would like Legacy of Darkness, it's nice. But you know when you got your heart set on something, you know, I really want that Demon's Crest. God damn it, I don't want to pay a lot of money for something else. I knew the other games weren't going to be cheap anyway. So yeah, so Nick comes back. No, sorry, before Nick gets back, this is the story. I say to Sean, I go, Sean, I'll be honest, he said 900, but I want to pay a price which starts with the number 6. And Sean goes, 6 grand for a laugh. Obviously not 6 grand. I wanted to be somewhere in the 600s. And he raised his eyebrows at me. He goes, nah, fucking hell, 600. I go, and I said to him, I go, Sean, £600, bro. Are you insane? £600. You can't turn your nose up at a £600 for a game, right? And even the woman that was there, she kind of cracked up a little bit because she knew what I was saying was legit. And I think Sean clocked as well. I was like, yeah, bro, 600 quid's a crazy amount of money anyway. That's fucking loads. Just to put things into perspective. But then he shuffled away, and he came back. He goes, "We're not going to do for anything like that." He goes, "We paid six something for it, so there's no chance." I was like, "Fuck." Look, what are they going to do then? I still had it in my bag. I'll tell you what I took. I took Conker's Bad Fur Day N64. I took Mario Party 2 N64. I took Mario Party 1 N64, and I took Pokemon Snap. So I took games which, in my opinion, retail price, you're talking 200, 100, 60 and 40. So what's that? So that's maybe retail of around 400 quid. Yeah, that's about 400 quid's worth of games retail. So I thought, you never know, Nick might give me 250, 300 for them because they're fairly desirable. And to be fair, Conker's Bad Fur Day was in the trade-in anyway, so it would have been a second copy. So he may have done that much. But I thought maybe if you get 250, 300, that would lessen the burden. I wouldn't have to spunk out quite as much, right? So Nick comes back. He shows me his car. It's this beautiful Rover Metro. It needs tidying up, but it's really good. Nice little run around. We get chatting. I walk back in there, and I say to him, Nick, where are we at on this? And Sean said to him, he goes, he wants to pay 600 for it. Nick laughs and he goes, there's no chance, mate, because we paid 700 for it. There's a slight contradiction there from what Sean said. So, all right. Anyway, moving on swiftly. So he goes, TJ, the condition's not great. If you want it, you can have it for 800. And even then I'm like, no, that's still too much for me. Do you know what I mean? I can't pay 800 quid for a game. But then he goes, TJ, you know what? Callum is after it as well. He goes, he's already messaged me for it, but I haven't replied. And I was like, oh shit. I go, Retro Ghetto's on it. Then he's going to be doing some wheeling and dealing as well. And I'm like, what should I do? Do you know what I mean? You're at that position, then it's like, do you go in there because somebody else is going to take it, or do you think, nah, there's no chance? And I'm sitting there umming and ahhing, and I'm thinking, I can't pay that sort of amount either way. So I decide a strategy. Well, actually, Nick gives me a strategy. He goes, TJ, have a look on eBay. He goes, these don't come up that often. He said, this is the first version of Demon's Crest that they've had in the shop, which I believe that because it's not, it is really rare. You will not see it generally. So he goes, have a look on eBay, see if you can come up one and come up with a price which matches. So I'm like, alright, cool. But at that point I felt bad because I was in there for a few hours with talking and chatting and stuff. I thought I had to pick up something. But all those other box games, they were really pricey. Oh, it was Saturday Night Slam Masters. But even then he wanted 150 for it. And I'm like, oh, that's still too much for me to drop on a game that I don't really want. Even though it would be nice. I've got a cart. I don't know if you see it down there. I've got it already on NTSC, so I wasn't that bothered. But I did saw this earlier on, and I have been after this for a while, and that is Castlevania Dracula X Chronicles on the PSP. The reason why I've been after this is because it was the first time in the West that they released Rondo of Blood, right? And Rondo of Blood is well known to be probably the best normal 2D Castlevania game, and it only released on the MSX in Japan. So we never got it here in the West, and this is the first time that they ported it for Western consumers. And also on this game at the same time, you can see there's also Symphony of the Night. So you're getting a remake of Rondo of Blood, which is called Dracula X Chronicles. You're getting the original Rondo of Blood, and you're getting Symphony of the Night. I mean, that's crazy value, right, for PSP players. So if you got a PSP and you wanted to play arguably two of the best Castlevania games, and then this is still the only place where you can play Dracula X Chronicles, although it's a bit of a shoddy remake, if you want to play it or not. It's a great value proposition. I've been getting into Castlevania quite a bit recently, off the heels of the Netflix anime, which was excellent. And then I've just recently completed Super Castlevania 4, albeit that was emulated on my 3DS. So I really want to play Rondo of Blood and Symphony of the Night. I am tempted. I've got a brand new boxed 3 PSPs upstairs from India. I don't know if you remember that. Go back and check out my India pickups video. So I could technically pay this on one of them, but they're brand new and they haven't been opened, so I don't really want to open them. So I might pick up a PSP, a cheap PSP. If anybody's got one, hit me up. I'll grab it off you. We'll do a deal. And yeah, interesting enough, we opened it up and obviously it was complete. It also came with a memory card, which was nice. I don't know if you guys remember the old Sony M2 Magic memory cards. That was quite nice. That was in there. But then there was also the original receipt that the person bought it off CEX. And Nick, originally he said 60 quid, but he came down to 55. right? 55 is good. But then he was like, I bet you probably paid more than that. I said, well, if you paid less than 50, will you do it for 50? And he was like, oh, no, that wasn't exactly. We had some sort of silly bet going on depending on what the price that he paid was. And we looked at the receipt from CEX 2023, it's not that long ago, and he paid 48. So 48 in 2023, and Nick wouldn't budge off 55. And to be fair, that to me was fine. I wasn't going to mess around. Considering I only bought one game from him, I thought that was great. And before I left, I noticed that they also had a Superman on the N64. You'll see in the video, and that it funnily also had the black marker, the exact same writing. It was on the back. So I said to Nick, "How much are you doing for Superman?" And he goes, "Oh mate, that's easily 200 quid. Easily 200 quid. You'll never see that. That's £200 all day long." And I told him, "Nick, I pitched up yesterday for 90 quid." He's like, "Whoa!" He was like, "Where from?" And I told him, and he's like, "Oh shit." And I was like, "Yeah, I got a good deal then." He goes, "Yeah, you did get a good deal." So yeah, that was the last couple of days, last week's worth of excitement from retro gaming pickups. I did message Nick. I found an example online which was less than what he was after, and I told him, "But Nick, if you're watching this, I told you, if you do decide to take a value less than my offer, then just remember, bro, my offer is on the table. So you never know, coming up in the next few weeks, if it doesn't get sold, you might be tempted, or you might go back and do a deal. I've got quite a few trade-ins I can make, might lessen the financial burden on that, but yeah, we'll see. I'll keep you posted if we can beat Retro Ghetto and also the Gebs. Yep, that's right. Gemmo's after Demon's Crest as well. Whether they'll stump up 800 quid is to be seen, but he likes doing deals with these guys. I think he's liable to undercut himself to sell it for him, so it depends whether he remembers my deal or not. We'll see. Let Vintage Gamer know if you think they should sell it to me, or whether he's going to give it to those guys. It's a bit of a race. You never know. Retro Ghetto's probably already put a video out of saying how he picked it up for 500 or something stupid, but we'll see. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that. It was great to see all those games, and I promise I will record the Japan wrap-up video. Indy, if you're watching this, yeah, look out for it, bro, in the next few weeks. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys later. Have a great weekend and keep it retro.